Hello everyone, I'm Bai. I'm e-commerce marketing expert at Omnisend, and today we're continuing our sessions on how to get ready for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and beyond. And today I'm very excited because we're gonna talk about what you can do now to improve what you already have. And to help us with that, we have Martis, who is our senior account expert, and what he does, it helps our clients at Omnisend to succeed. So today you'll get a one-on-one experience, and make sure you take the opportunity to ask him questions, because again, it's his job to help his customers to succeed. And he has a wealth of knowledge as well. So any questions you might have, please use this opportunity and ask him. Martis, would you like to say hello?
Yes, of course. Thanks, Vi, for introduction. So, as Vi has mentioned, my name is Matas. So, I am a senior account expert in Omnisend. I've been working in Omnisend for a few years now. So, I got a bit of a knowledge about the platform and email marketing. And I hope you guys will learn a lot of new things today.
Awesome. And a couple of things to know before we begin. This session is being recorded. You will receive the recording in a couple of days. We will include the slides and all the resources that we're going to share throughout. And at the end, we're going to have a Q&A session. So if you have any questions, there's a Q&A tab at the bottom of your screen. So drop your questions in there, and then we will either pause to let Martas answer questions then, or we will wait till the end. And also we have our customer support team in a chat. So if you have any other questions regarding Omnisend, drop those there and we'll be happy to answer those. And just remember, those people are real, not AI. So let's be patient and nice. Alrighty, Marthas, this stage is yours.
Awesome, great. So yeah, as Vi has mentioned, so today we're gonna be talking about the patch few things before Black Friday, Cyber Monday. As you know, it's nearly the time here. We got about more than a month still, but I feel like to get the most of it, we need to prepare earlier to make sure all the patches are done and we are ready to make some great revenue during the busiest season of e-commerce. So this is a quick agenda. So we'll start with forms, automations, and segmentation, and then we will have a quick Q&A session if you have any questions about what we have discussed today. So yeah, let's start with the main part. The first part of our presentations, forms. As you know, forms is probably the first impression what you show to customers in the email marketing journey. So we have prepared a few essential tips for you to optimize before Black Friday starts. So jumping into the first slide. So my first tip and recommendation is to build the anticipation in this case. So something like creating a Black Friday theme, Popup forms helps you to stand out from the other businesses and also stand out in your own business, because if you have regular customers visiting your website and they used to that all pop-up form appearing, and then when you have something Black Friday themed, it just creates that, something big is about to happen because, Black Friday is approaching and there's new things happening right now. So it's a sign for customers to sign up because good things are ahead. So this is one of the key things. Another thing is, if you haven't done it yet, having a two-step form is essential, not just during Black Fridays, but I feel like in general, having two-step form is more efficient, because when you have two-step form, in the first step, you can ask for email address, and then in the second step you can ask for a phone number, because this way if the customer gives their email address, you already got that information. And then if for some reason they don't want to subscribe to SMS channel, then you still got the email address, and then you don't lose both at the same time. Because if you had everything in one step, if you don't provide neither the information, it'll be just lost submission rate. So that's like the first step. Another one is also really important aspect is having a teaser. So I'm not too sure if everyone knows what the teaser is basically after you are closing the form, a small bubble appears on your web, so customers can click on it and then the form will appear again. So it's a good way to increase your submission rate, because sometimes customers want to browse a little bit longer before they give their email address. So if you have a teaser, customers can always come back to the form and submit their details, because if there's no teaser, in that case they have to refresh their page, maybe the form doesn't appear again, and then you lose the sale. So this is a small thing, but definitely improves those submission rates. Cool. Third, give patience. It's another important aspect here. So give some time to show the pop-up form before it pops out, because if you show the form immediately, it could create that resentment and customers could close down the form immediately. So this way, I would always recommend having at least 5 to 10 seconds before you show the form, or you can either add additional parameters, like if they visited at least a couple pages, that in that case, customer had a chance to be on your website, explore a little bit, and this way, you can show the form at the relevant time, and then customers will more likely to submit their email address and the phone number. Another one, urgency. Patience, urgency all work together, because this is the busiest seasons of the year. Customers are probably going everywhere, not just on your website. They're probably shopping, looking for deals. Someone's probably buying already Christmas gifts for their family and friends. So you want to show that you mean business, for this upcoming Black Friday. So a few things I would normally recommend is adding a countdown timer, because it creates that FOMO effect. So it's just 5 days left until the sales begin. So customers could sign up if they haven't signed up yet, and wait for that countdown timer to finish and look for that deal they are looking for. Another thing is playing around with different CTA buttons that drives clicks. So you want to experiment. You can also do A/B testing. See what works best. So that's one of the ways to grab that submission. And also try to play around with different copy. Something like, if you're having an early access, mention that in the header. If you have, let's say, limited stock, so mention that there's going to be limited stock on the products you're selling, because fear of missing out and being let down, it's something you want to avoid as a consumer. So it gives you a lot more incentive to subscribe and wait for those deals to reach your inbox. And then, a few bullet
Mathis,
check.
I just wanted to jump in. If you go one slide back,
Mm-hmm.
on the countdown timer, I remember as we were talking, I remember one of my clients that we were very strategic about the countdown timer,
Mm-hmm.
and looking at in your region, or maybe you're doing it state by state, wherever you are, adjusting it to paydays. So set the timer that it expires like a
Mm-hmm.
day or two after the payday. Because like from what we've seen with that specific customer was that, oh, people were like looking and browsing, but they were not really shopping. But when we adjusted the time to paydays, that
Mm-hmm.
actually helped, because then we interviewed some customers and they were like, yeah, well, I was like mentally shopping and planning things, but in that moment, I didn't have the funds, but I knew that, hey, there's going to be a payday and then I still have time to use the discount. So as we were sharing this tip, I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. And it worked really well.
That's a great point. Yeah, definitely. And a great example how the countdown timer can work in your benefit. Cool. So, right, going next to the slide. So we have prepared a quick list of things you don't forget related to forms. Yeah. First thing, so make sure check that all your forms and all the content on your web before Black Friday matches your forms, your emails, so the offer stays the same. Because last thing you want to have is have few different offers that don't match your Black Friday deals, and then makes the customers a lot confused because of that. So another thing is update your visuals. As I mentioned, update your visuals based on Black Friday themes or any other holidays you're doing during that particular period. Third thing, ensure that your mobile and dark mode optimized forms you have. So sometimes Omnisend has an option. You can have two different forms, one for mobile, one for desktop. So you can customize each version to make sure that it looks great on mobile devices and great on desktop devices. And also verify that the form is working correctly and the right welcome email gets sent, because sometimes I see a mistake where customers create a new form and they leave the old welcome flow, and then welcome flow email will be sent from the previous one, not the one with the Black Friday theme. So this is crucial thing to make sure that you select that correct form triggers the right welcome automation. That's really important thing. And then, test your forms to make sure that it works as expected. So when you do your testing before the launch, that avoids any mistakes you could have because, not checking something on, or the settings are not set up correctly. And the last thing, also same thing, make sure also messaging, offers, incentives, all matching across the board. That also includes not just email marketing, also your PPC ads, your Facebook ads, etc. So if you have different offers happening on different channels, then they come on email, it's another offer. So make sure it's all up to date and working beautifully together. Cool. So another thing. So as you saw in the title of the webinar, AI was mentioned. It's a hot topic, as everyone know already, and Omnisend is not behind on this. So we have cooking a lot of AI tools over the last month. So one of the things that we are having right now in the beta version is creating a form using AI. This is an example that you can see how the prompt message looks like. So when you go on Omnisend platform, you create a form. You will have two options: create it manually or let Omnisend AI to do the magic there. So when you click Omnisend AI, this is the window you're gonna get. As you can see, we do already pre-made sort of prompt that you can use, and then in those columns you can add what type of style, what type of colors you want to add inside the form. So you can, as you see in the video, you can just simply change everything based on your own preferences, your needs. And then when you add your details there, voila, there it is. So this is Omnisend's AI generated form. So then you can, once you have the output there, then you can tweak it up, change some visuals or the font, etc. So you can customize it to have the final product ready for Black Friday. Cool. And now moving to the automation side, another crucial part of successful Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So we're gonna start first about having the basics. I have compiled 5 main automations that every e-commerce brand must have, not just before Black Friday, any given time. So first thing first, you want to start with the welcome series, because when you have a pop-up form, you want to welcome your new subscribers. So welcome series gives your customers more about your brand, about what your mission, what you stand for, and what you have to offer for your audience. So this is a first impression of your brand, is a welcome series. Another one is abandoned product. Another crucial automation. Let's say a customer signs up on your website, and when they sign up, Omnisend places a cookie into their browser, and then we can track what type of products they view and make their shopping experience a lot more personalized. So let's imagine a scenario: a customer browses specific products and then they leave, and then we can add those products inside the automation, inside the emails, and show the products they viewed. Then that adds on abandoned cart automation. So this is a next stage after viewing a product. If a customer views a product and then decides to add them to the cart, then another automation triggers, and then we add those items in the cart. They add in the cart inside the email. Pretty much the same principle, but a different part of the journey of the customer. And then checkout, another one is just after adding to the cart, then the customer moves to the checkout phase. Then you want to pretty much work similar as abandoned cart, but in the checkout phase, you want to grab them as soon as possible, because this is a final stage of the shopping, and this is a crucial moment to grab them ASAP. And the last one is post-purchase. If the sale happened, you want to make sure you post up the customers after the purchase to make sure that they enjoy the purchase, and also sharing any relevant information like educational content about the product, showing some testimonials, and maybe even offering some cross-sell opportunities depending on the product you're selling. Cool. So let's review some patches that needs to be done before Black Friday. Cool. So the first thing is timing. As I mentioned before, BFCM is the crucial period in November. So you want to make sure your delays between automations are slightly reduced because you are competing not with just our competitors, but you're also competing with other brands that also are participating, in Black Friday sales. Because well, I think I remember when last year Black Friday, I opened my inbox. I had like 50 emails, and then which one do I check? There's so many emails there. So you want to make sure that you land at the right time. One thing as well with Omnisend, you can make sure that your email lands if the automation has a certain delay, and then if it's like customer matches the rule in the evening, you can make sure that email lands in the morning, so it's on the top of the emails there. So that's how you can make automations work to your advantage. And then make sure you send follow-ups also in a promptly manner. Like I would recommend sending a second email 24 hours later, not necessarily with cart abandonment, but I feel like that should be applied rule for all the other automations like product abandon flow, abandon checkout. So this is the way you stay on top of it. Another one, as mentioned, having delays between each email. Another crucial thing is making sure you're having a series of email, not just one email. As the phrase "one warrior in the war is not a warrior," you need to have more emails there. So I would normally recommend something between 1 and 3 emails to make sure that you all have enough time to follow up with the customers, and making sure every email is Black Friday, Cyber Monday optimized, because it doesn't take too long to add something related to Black Friday across your emails, and then making sure the customers are aware what's happening within your brand during this period. And then then you move to
Marcus,
the
I will just jump in before we move too far from these things. So we have one question from Helen, and I think it's also very important while we're still talking about the
Mhm,
automation and the settings. And the question is, how do we not send too many people, not too many email to people? You're sending your automations, you're sending your
mhm,
campaigns. And what if you have abandoned product automation, checkout, cart? It
mhm,
seems like a lot of emails. So, what is your advice, and what can we do to avoid spamming our
mhm.
customers?
Yeah, that's a great question. That's actually several ways. If you're talking about automations, there is an option when you open automation, and at the bottom right, there is an option to skip context if they are currently in other automations. Yeah. So, for example, if you have to prioritize which automations are more valuable to you, then you can, if they are already in some of the other automations, you can skip those contexts and making sure they receive the other relevant automations. So this way you control how many emails customer receive from certain automation. That's one way of going about it in terms of automation. Another key crucial thing is segmentation. So you want to segment your audience based on their specific characteristics. For example, a few examples which we're gonna cover in the later part of the presentation. Like, for example, you want to exclude recent buyers. For example, if you have a customer that purchased something in the last 3 days, this way you can avoid that friction of having too many emails. Let's exclude those customers from receiving an email for the next 3 days or longer periods. Or, for example, if somebody has received, let's say, multiple emails in the last 7 days, like 5 emails, you can also exclude those type of customers. So this way, segmentation is the engine of not receiving too many emails. So I guess it depends. Also, there's another, this question gets asked a lot: what is too much emails? Because for one brand, 5 emails per day might not be a lot. For other brands, it's extraordinarily too much email. So it's also depends really on the size of the audience, on the products you're selling. So there's so many ifs, I believe, but there is a solution that Omnisend offers to minimize sending too many emails.
Love it. And also, if anyone needs any help with these, our customer support team is available 24/7. So if anything, drop us a line and we'll help you to set it up so we avoid spamming our customers.
Yeah, cool.
And
And
it, go on.
no, it's all right. Yeah, go on.
Before we start going into the crafting of the message, I also wanted to ask you, you mentioned that, hey, adjust your emails like welcome series for Black Friday. And would you recommend just me going in and manually changing what I already have? Or should I use a split and maybe just, tag customers
Mhm,
from the sign up form and send them
mhm,
into a separate
mhm,
split? What is the most logistically
mhm,
sound thing to do? Because I immediately thought, oh my God, I have all my automations. I'll have to go in and then I'll have to adjust it.
mhm,
And then after Black Friday, I'll have to adjust it
mhm,
again. So, there's a lot of things happening in my mind. So, what would be the most, sound thing to do?
mhm. Yeah, so splitting is one of the options, but I feel like there's a lot easier option. What you could do is if you have a new form, for example, which is Black Friday theme, and also what I forgot to mention, you can tag every single customer that signs that specific form and just add, let's say, a tag BFCM 2025, yeah? And instead of doing a split in the welcome flow, I would just make a copy of existing automation and just call it Black Friday and change that this welcome flow is triggered by a tag that contains Black Friday, Cyber Monday 2025, for example. Because why I'm saying because not to adjust existing one, because it could mess up your existing data that you have so far. So having a separate one is a lot more crucial because and first thing, it doesn't mess your before data, and also then you can see how Black Friday performed. Then you can see from during this period. Black Friday was enabled, form as enabled, and then the welcome flow was enabled. This way you can track information a lot more efficiently, I would say.
Yes, and I absolutely immediately thought about this thing that most of us forget because we move on really fast. But if you have that automation set up for, as you said, tagging people Black Friday 2025, then comes next year, then you can also optimize the same flow. You don't need to recreate it
Mhm.
from scratch. You already have the data and you can just build on it as well.
Yeah, just make sure you change the date from 20, if you're using a date to 2025. And yeah, so thanks for the question, right? So yeah, so now we're gonna move into crafting the messages. So yeah, there's a few things. There's a lot of things we can try, but I got down a few essential things, I would say. So one thing is a subject line. So make sure you experiment with different subject lines. As I mentioned, like it's a busy season. Your users have multiple emails. You want to stand out from the subject line out of all those emails. So something you can use like a first name in your subject lines to say like, hey Matas, here's your order is waiting for you here. So it's already, when you see your name, it already gives you, for example, that sent I want to check it out, what's waiting for me there, so personalization and subject lines and the urgency are the key factors, that drives the open during this period. Like also like a limited stock, it's almost out of stock because people are buying everything. Another thing is building a trust by highlighting some, essential information in your emails, like your shipping information. During Black Friday, shipping could be delayed, for example, so you give more transparency. Also talk about your quality, your mission, and your story. So more, not just all the sales, but also some personal touch about your brand. And also, last tip is making sure that your customer support information is available under every email because it's things happen during Black Friday, orders can get mixed up or something, etc., etc. So this way, if every email has this essential information, then you can create a better experience for your customers. And yeah, another second part of the email, as I mentioned. So make sure you adjust most of your all your emails to Black Friday, Cyber Monday kind of theme. So if you have a banners, for example, with specific discounts or specific offers, specific collections, make sure you add on every automation email. There's a bit of manual work, but I guarantee you'll be done in like less than 30 minutes, changing everything within every single email. And that 30 minutes could generate you quite significant amount of revenue because revenue is one of the key areas generating revenue during Black Friday and email marketing. So yeah, now with Omnisend AI, another thing. So how we can use AI in Omnisend to make sure your emails are optimized. So first thing first, so subject lines, as I mentioned, it's essential things, but if you have our ideas, how matters which subject line is correct, which one is not. Here you go. So when you go on your automation site and click edit the subject line, you can see like a green bubble there. You click that green bubble and then the magic can start happening. So you can use Omnisend AI to change existing subject lines. You can create something from scratch. You can use all the tips I given you and give the AI, and it will make you subject line that converts. So it's an essential thing, and you don't have to go separately to any other AI tools. You can do everything in the platform without any copying, pasting back and forth. So it's all there. Another great tool that Omnisend is actually famous about is the subject line tester. So if you don't trust AI just yet, you can trust Omnisend's AI subject line tester, because we've been having this tool and it's been being shared a lot by our customers and used by our customers. You can put in your subject line that you have created yourself or AI has created, and then it gives you a score, about the subject line. Is it whether it's too long, is it too spammy, or is it like you need to use less words, etc. So it gives you a better understanding how your subject line would perform, in terms of open rates. Yeah, so I would highly recommend bookmarking this link in your browsers. This is definitely one of the key essential tools with AI.
And I also wanted to jump in that over the years, we have collected all the best practices. We have the research to back this up. It's not just us being, oh, this sounds nice. So it is a tool designed specifically to generate those subject lines you want to generate the opens. And if you go into Black Friday section on that page, you should be able to see our proven subject lines where you don't even need to test anything. And just, save yourself time and copy paste those, adjust those to your brand and your offer, and you're good to go.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Definitely. And yeah, so this is about the thing. And then we can jump to another part of improving already existing content. I'm not sure if you have noticed. So when you have text blocks in Omnisend, AI can give you some suggestions how you can improve, your headers, your body text inside the actual email, not just a subject line, because it's a busy period. We are rushing to get these emails delivered. You want to make sure that copy is on point, but sometimes mistakes can happen. For example, even just a small thing, if your grammar is slightly off, AI suggestions will give you, that some fix needs to be done. And that's it. With a few clicks, your email is polished, ready to be sent out. So, because so this is time-saving tools. I believe that when you eliminate the boring stuff, then you can focus on the great stuff like strategy and making sure your revenue is increasing with every year, with every quarter. Cool, and now we got a bonus tip here. So as probably everyone knows, email is not the only channel that Omnisend has to offer. We have two other channels which I'm gonna discuss. The first thing is the SMS channel, so which is probably everyone knows about. So my additional tips from here is adding a SMS channel within your existing automations, especially like abandoned cart, abandoned checkout, because these are competitive times, and sometimes email is not getting looked at immediately as opposed to text message, because when you get a text message you can see immediately on your phone. So if there's if you use correct wording, like let's say 24 hours left, 12 hours left, this gives more incentive to the customers to check out their basket if they have abandoned it, or if you're using a discount code, the discount code will be expiring very soon. So SMS messaging is something that you can utilize to remind your users about the offers that are happening, in more personal manner. So it's a great channel to add. And if you are not using SMS channel yet, or if you have sent any SMS messages for a while, I highly recommend testing this channel out before jumping into Black Friday and blasting with SMS messages. So I would recommend start adding SMS messages before the Black Friday starts, and then try sending a few campaigns as well to see how the audience engagement is, if it's been a while, so to make sure you are targeting the right customers. And another great thing, Omnisend recently has released a great new feature that now you can use your own custom domain for the SMS links. So that's another really great improvement. So now when you send your message, the link will be your own domain. So it makes your SMS messages a lot more trustworthy and more clickable. More clicks equals more visits equals more revenue. So yeah, so this is one of the things that have been asked by our customers and we delivered. So another thing is which is probably not as maybe famous known channel just yet, but it's a great additional to your multi-channel strategy is the push notification channel, which is also can be added to automations the same way as you can add SMS channel. When you go on the automation builder, on the left side you can see the messages. So you can choose email, SMS, and push notifications. So now if somebody doesn't know what push notifications are, so what is this guy talking about? So let me show you. So these are the desktop browser notifications that get sent out to customers' computer basically. So customers subscribe to your to this channel when you enable push notifications on Omnisend by going to store settings, enabling push notifications. Then whenever somebody comes on your web, there will be like a small bubble on the left side next to the URL that says allow notifications or block notifications. When you click allow, you are becoming a Omnisend subscriber for push channel, and then you can target customers with push notifications. Yeah, they are looking like this as you can see here in the slide. So basically you can use similarly as SMS channel. Yeah, you can have a nice header. Let's say Black Friday deal started. You can also send reminders to use the discount code, which you can also add inside the message. You can use, as you can see, you have the header, and then you have the body text, and then you can add a link that leads to your website, which also applies the UTM tags, and then you can track if the sale came from the push channel and not from email. So it's a great addition. If you have all three, I believe you can achieve really great things. And
Marcus,
yeah,
I'm just
so
gonna jump in before we move too far away from SMS. There
mhm.
was a question from Ben, and what if you only have emails for now and you haven't been collecting phone numbers? And now we have like a month and a half till the actual Black Friday.
Mhm.
And what do we do? Is there anything that we can still do?
I feel like drag and drop the SMS phone number into your forms and start collecting. So I feel like it's never too late. So I mean, like you can start collecting as soon as possible. So we still got a month and a half, and to test out the waters with the SMS channel, you could start by adding SMS channel inside automations. Yeah, so and even though you have not many SMS subscribers, if the customer is subscribed to email, it will skip the SMS channel and just go to the email channel, so there's nothing to lose there. Yeah, so then you can just start collecting the SMS numbers, testing out in automations, and then if you have fair amount of SMS subscribers by the time that Black Friday starts, you can try and a few campaigns as well. So it's about start collecting, and once you have enough data or substantial amount of data, you can start using this channel. But it's never too late. There's never nothing too late here.
And what is your opinion? Because I've used that in the past, but leading up to Black Friday, I know how many emails and campaigns are being sent out. So just interested on your opinion in this. What if we send out a campaign to our existing subscribers, maybe the most engaged ones, as I know you're going to be talking about that segment, and maybe send them an offer and an invitation being like, hey, Black Friday is coming up, and if you give us your phone number, you'll get something exclusive. What would be your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's definitely great. So let's say you have a campaign, and you send your, let's say, engaged customers, and if they are not subscribed to SMS channel, there's a very quick, easy way to give them incentive to subscribe. Let's say, you build your email, you can add a section of inside the email, oh, we noticed that you haven't subscribed to our SMS channel, yeah? Which you can do by segmenting easily. You can create a segment of customers who are subscribed to email and customers who are not subscribed to SMS. You can add additional boxes for these customers, ask for the details, and show them the value proposition that if you subscribe to SMS channel, you will get the first to know about the Black Friday deals, yeah? And how you do that, then you add like a CTA button at the bottom there. And another great thing that Omnisend has to offer, we do have landing pages. So we can create a landing page where you can add phone number and email address, create that landing page, and that landing page has like a link, that when you click on a link, it leads you directly to the landing page where you can add your details. So basically you link that landing page to your email, that's it. And then once you send the email campaign, customers see if they're interested in subscribing to the SMS channel, and then customers can click on that CTA button, which takes them to the to that landing page. If they decide to add their details, voila, it's SMS subscriber right there. And this is that's a great question, because you can ask customers, existing customers, to leave their phone numbers.
Awesome. And if you already lost what Marcus was saying, you can contact our customer support team and then ask about the landing page form, about connecting it to your emails, and our customer support team will guide you through that.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
definitely.
All
Awesome.
right. I'm looking at the time, so let's move on into the segments.
Yes, so awesome. So regarding the Omnisend AI, so currently we're still working for the automations to create, we're using AI. So currently it's still in progress, but once we have some news, we definitely will share with you guys. Cool. So now jump into segmentation, which is also a really important part during Black Friday. So yeah, so we're going to talk about the main segment. So engaged customers. So that could be either 30, 60, 90 days engaged contacts. So you want to identify your recent openers, clickers, and target them on the most regular basis. Then you have the hyper engaged, so customers that are your biggest loyal customers that engaging with your emails, that regularly open them and click them. Then you got the purchases and non-purchases, so you want to convert casual browsers that haven't purchased yet with more incentive, like testimonials, more information about the products. And then you want the purchases, you want to get them by using upsell strategies. Then you got the high LTV customers, so you want to reward the VIP customers to further increase their lifetime value. Then you get unengaged segments, so unengaged subscribers. So when you have at some point customers, you lose some subscribers because for any reason. So if they, even if they, such as like they're no longer using the inbox or any other reason. So creating unengaged subscribers list is important to make sure your list is clean and you don't have any inactive contacts that could hurt your deliverability long term. And then we got the lapsed customers, so customers who have made a purchase before but have not made any purchase for a while. So you want to get these customers ASAP before they're gone. And the last one, recent purchases. Exclude recent purchases from your campaigns, especially the sales campaign. You can still send them educational content, but if they bought something recently and you are having a campaign that is about more educational, you can include in those type of emails. Awesome. So we can cover the first segments here. So here you can see the most engaged customers. So I would recommend 80% of the time target these type of customers, because if you want to have the best deliverability, I would say 80% of the time target engaged customers only, and then you can once in a while add those less active contacts to make sure you keep those good email marketing practices. So you can see here an example of a segment, and you can adjust that from 30 to 60 to 90 days. So engage, as I mentioned, include subscriber status. Make sure you have open or clicked property. Define the message channel to make sure that you either want to target email subscribers or SMS or push channel subscribers. And then also you can exclude Apple privacy opens. And then, as I mentioned, use 80% of the time when sending campaigns. So this is important to have because it maintains great deliverability, less emails going into spam, and more likely your email will land in your customer's inbox at the right time. Another one important segment is what we've talked about engaged customer is hyper engaged customers. People are regularly open your emails and clicking on them as well. So in some cases, you want to maybe reward these customers with maybe early access to specific sales, which is, for example, Black Friday sales, or you want to give them like extra benefits, extra, loyal rewards, so because these are your core of your business. And then you have the purchasers and non-purchasers. So for example, if a customer has purchased something from your at least once, so then you can target these customers, with upsell opportunities, cross-sell opportunities. So because they already bought something from you, so they already trust your brand. Yeah. So this way, you can use that to your advantage. But then if you have customers that have not purchased just yet, so maybe they need more information, maybe some testimonials, some customer reviews, some maybe some blogs or educational content, depending on the type of products you are selling. So this is a good way to convert them instead of blasting them, with discount codes or like just because they probably need a lot more information before they make that decision. And then you got the high LTV customers. So this is a great segment to have. Here you can see you have total spent, which means how much the customer spent, and then choose based on your average order value that you have, and if those customers made at least several purchases. So I believe this is one of great segments that you can use, and then reward your high LTV customers with exclusive perks and early access and private sales, even as I mentioned with the other, because some of the segments overlap obviously. So just use which one makes sense the most at the given time during a specific period of time. Then you get unengaged subscribers, so you want to exclude these customers from your regular sending and clean your list at some point, at least every 6 to 1 year. So because these customers are not engaging with you as much anymore, so this way you can remove unnecessary contacts. And then you get the lapsed customers, which you can target customers who made a purchase and haven't made any purchase ever since. So you can test different offers, different reactivation deals. So this way you can try lapse these customers, because getting new customers is a lot more expensive than retaining existing ones. So I will use this segment to try different offers to make sure that you retain these, at least one small portion. It's a huge win. And then the recent purchases, as I mentioned, exclude those customers from recent campaigns, and then focus on more educational content if they bought something in the last 14 days, 7 days, 3 days. And then we can jump to AI part. AI is segment builder. So I'm not sure how many people have experience just yet, but here you can see you can add a simple prompt. I want to get email subscribers that made a purchase, at least 2 purchases in the last 60 days, for example. Yeah. So you add the prompt here, and then the AI does all the magic here. So if for some reason the instructions are not clear, AI will ask you to confirm specific details. And then if the segment is good enough, you can create a segment and then also additionally adjust it. If it's not good enough, you can start over and then until you get the segment you want to have. So here you can see, as I mentioned here, it asks you any follow-up questions to make sure you having the segment that you were requested initially. And also, we had some great webinars before. So my colleagues TJ and Sadie had great webinars about segmentation, which dives deeper about what I just discussed. It's a lot more focused on that specific topics. Same as Sadie discussed some of the 7 segments that I discussed as well in greater details here as well. And another important AI feature that often gets not seen, because it's a great addition. It's a live stage map. Here you can see identify your top customers and tailor your customers to retain them, because it has a RFM analysis, which means that we automatically segment your customers based by recency, frequency, and monetary value, so we can target them smarter. As you can see in the graph, you can tell how much the customer has spent and how long has it been since their last purchase, and so this way you can target different segments accordingly. When you click on specific either champion at-risk customers, you can create segment immediately just by clicking on it, and then you can use that segment to target them using different methods, like based on what stage those customers at. And yeah, bonus round here. So our team has compiled some key takeaways about last year Black Friday, and I added some of the key takeaways that every brand should know. So start your sales early. Major retailers are already pushing promos in October, and I feel like Black Friday has become from Black Week to Black Month. So I feel like it's gonna be Black, I don't know, Q4, so start early. Don't rush things, and then when you start early, you can make everything on time, and making sure you get the most benefits out of it. Automations convert the best. Our team conducted a study that automated emails like welcome flow, cart, browse, abandonment made up just 3 cents. They made up 3% only of the cents, but that they drove 30% of emails orders in November. Campaigns still matter, but the automations are one of the key engine in that success in your successful Black Friday strategy. And another thing is bigger baskets offset fewer orders. So average order value jumped 18% year on year. Yeah, even with fewer orders, this gives you incentive, bundling and upselling to try that trend. So you want to focus on that average order value by giving different bundles, offering various upsells to make sure that average order value is increasing. Timing matters. As I mentioned as well, timing is crucial. Make sure not just with email marketing delays, but also with Black Friday emails orders peak 7, 8 a.m. So make sure the SMS spikes in later afternoon, send schedules to when shoppers are actually buying. So make sure you target them with correct delays and timing them at the right time, at the right place. And yeah, another thing is consumers are cautious these days. I know there's a lot of uncertainty in the world, so shoppers are spreading their spending across maybe more days. They're hunting for value. So my advice here is to sometimes spread your offers across days, weeks, because if you spread everything all at once, customers need more time to think about and also explore different options as well. And yeah, quick summary, what we have discussed today. So optimize, capture every opportunity with forms, with conversion-focused Black Friday forms. Set up your automations, let the workflows do all the magic without any extra effort. Implement segmentation so you reach the right customers with the right message. And final thing, important thing, use Omnisend AI. Create forms, segments, messages instantly with only just a few clicks. Save that time and use that time to create the best emails possible and surprise your customers with the best offers you have. And that's it. Thank you for your attention, and we will go to the Q&A session.
Marthas, thank you so much. That was so much knowledge. And I immediately thinking, that's a lot. And there's not much time. And now you're telling me everyone's starting their campaigns in October. So what would you suggest people like me who are thinking, I really want to get this done, but it sounds like a lot. I have other things to worry about, but there's this email. What would you advise me if I was your customer with these concerns?
I know, I understand it's a busy period, but I feel like if you, in the previous takeaways, what our team has done, if you start early, everything, October is still far away from Black Friday. So if you start early, plan your campaigns in advance, plan your automations in advance, I feel like there's easy to succeed when you have everything in place. And then if you have any questions, we got 24/7 support team. If you have any questions, always contact our team. They will help you out with any questions because we work in 24/7. So we will answer your questions as soon as possible, and then we'll make your implementation a lot more quicker and smoother and ready for you to start Black Friday.
And what would be your advice? Because I'm also thinking, and Helen also mentioned in the Q&A, everyone's starting everything earlier and earlier, and there's that customer fatigue. So let's say I am planning ahead, I'm on top of everything you mentioned, I might tweak some things, but now it's beginning of October, and I want to do like Black Friday offer as well, which means 2 months. So it's the opposite thing. What would you advise then, especially for maybe smaller brands with less items and larger brands as well? Like, what would be your approach if we're doing good? We're doing really good. We have everything planned ahead. But how do we not overwhelm our customers? And how do we phase it out leading up to Black Friday as well?
Yeah, that's a great question. So one key is segmentation. So as I mentioned, so segmentation it's a good way to start form up your audience. So for example, when I discuss the engaged customer segment, so you got 30, 60, 90 days customers, you can start only sending to the 30 days engagers, then you can increase to 60 days to 90 days. So this way you don't kind of like push too much during that October month. So you can warm up your audience slowly from reaching out to the most engaged context and slowly adding more audience into your sending patterns. And also you could, before the Black Friday actually starts, you could, like as always, you can reduce the amount of emails you send, but if you segment your audience correctly, if you maybe focus during October on not just sales, but more on the educational part, customer testimonial part, you can also show the benefits that your brand has instead of just pushing sales before then to have successful Black Friday.
Fantastic. And also, for those like you mentioned segmentations, and I'm just immediately going into different strategies. And people who are your loyal customers or like your champions, people who've been shopping with you for ages, they will wait a little bit longer. So you don't even have to start that early either. What would be your thoughts on maybe reversing this and starting with those who are less engaged with your brand earlier? And then getting closer to Black Friday, then starting sending more campaigns to our more engaged customers. Would that be a mistake? What would be your thoughts on that?
That's a good point as well, but it also depends on the circumstances, on the size of your list, on how in general your metrics are. For example, if you're having some, let's say, deliverability problems or like your open rates are not as expected as you would like to be, I would then focus on the engaged customers to make sure your domain is fully ready for Black Friday. But if you have really good metrics, then yeah, that's a great idea. You can start from the other end and slowly build your way up. So there's so many circumstances so there's no right answer for every business because you sell different products. If you have, let's say, for example, supplements industry, people buy supplements a lot more often than they buy clothing, for example. So it's really a lot of circumstances they play along. So yeah, so it's hard to say but I feel like our webinars have a lot of different topics, so I definitely recommend exploring a library because one webinar it's hard to cover every single topic. So we have a lot of different topics based on specific areas. So yeah.
So Icona is saying he already has an existing pop-up on his store, but it will change to a Black Friday one. Would you have two pop-ups or just stick to one that's themed Black Friday and that's that? Or would you have multiple ones? What would be your strategy?
I would go with one pop-up because it could create some nuance if you have two pop-up forms, and especially if they have two different offers. So I would stick with one that if you haven't started the Black Friday just yet, you can enable the teaser already with your existing form, and then once you begin to transitioning to Black Friday mode, then disable the previous one and enable the new one.
Fantastic. Alrighty, so we will wrap this up. Thank you everyone for joining us for this session. And Matos, thank you so much again
Thank you.
for sharing it. It was so methodical. Again, everyone will receive the recording, the slides. It's gonna be so good when they're gonna start patching up their forms, their automations. And again, everyone, if you have any questions, our customer support is always available there. So Matos, thank you so much for being
Thank you.
here.
Thank you, and have a great rest of the day, everyone.
Thank you, everyone, and we'll see you soon. Bye.